not
Is he
6
coming?
feet.
I'll
I'm
have to
close.
go for a drive, then, you know.
Okay, I think we're gonna call the order. And we're live.
Oh, yeah. Looking at it, yeah.
All right, we'll call the committee of the whole meeting to order for Monday, June 23rd, 2025. The District Taylor recognizes with respect the traditional territory of Treaty 8. We honor the deep connection to the land and water, where everyone's rights are respected and opportunities are available for all to thrive. So a little bit on our new land acknowledgement. I did have the opportunity to use that at the powwow on the Friday night, and it was good. I explained a little bit about our committee and that we had spent significant time putting it together and things when I was doing my opening remarks. So
Any
thank you.
feedback?
No. Oh, but I mean, it was good. I mean, I guess I did have some feedback that it was good. Yeah.
Okay.
Notice of new business.
No, sir.
Adoption of the agenda, please. Moved by Councilor Graziano, second by Councilor Trujillo. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. No guest delegations, no gathered comments. Adoption of the minutes, one set from June 9th, committee of the whole. Moved by Councilor Graziano, second by Councilor Giesbrecht. Any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor? Adoption. Opposed? Carried. Business arising, staff, anything?
None, thank you.
Council? No correspondence, no new business, no committee reports, staff reports. 12.1 Protective Services Departmental Update Chief.
Good afternoon, everyone. Taylor Fire Rescue update from the report. We're up to 87 calls this year. Last Friday, Deputy Fire Chief Smith departed after completing his 6-month contract with the district. As we mentioned in the last meeting with all of you, the hiring process has been completed for a new deputy fire chief coming later this summer. Unfortunately, due to Manning, we had to withdraw from the Canada Summer Jobs Program this summer. Supervision on just my part would not be able and be significant enough for an individual at the department due to not any of the returning members from previous. So a lot of educational and hands-on would have been required. We also were able to support a Peace River Regional District request for the Kiskatna River wildfire, where one of our members spent 6 days working with Charlie Lake out on a tanker and helping with property protection. That was an excellent opportunity for that individual. And we're just slowly finishing up our TFR school barbecue season for fire prevention for 2024-2025. Moving on to emergency management, staff will be attending this week a Pembina full-scale exercise, both in Fort St. John and down here on the river. And our next generation 911 grant funding upgrades, mainly to the TFR, which includes the computer-aided dispatch system, have started to be installed. We're just waiting for the electronical tablets to arrive. And moving on to bylaw, again, an update from when the report was written. We're up to 38 complaints. And the last month we've been really educating around the district our watering restriction bylaw. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
I had one. I see there's quite a few more complaints, bylaw complaints. Are they one particular or just sort of broad spread?
Across the board, from
Okay.
animals to grass to
Okay. I
watering
just thought
to
maybe you've been getting an onslaught of one particular type. Okay. Thank you.
I have the same question. Oh, I do have a question, I guess. Where I read the, like your holiday thing, so obviously you're short staffed over there. You'll have adequate coverage over the summer, I'm assuming, or?
Sorry, holidays.
Yes, so you won't have a deputy. You'll be on holidays, but you're sticking around.
That's correct.
You have enough on-call people to make all that work?
Well, they're all volunteers and they come when they come, so let's hope they do. And if not, whoever is around will call in for mutual aid or we'll deal with what we can.
Okay, I knew you guys would take care of it, I was just curious.
It's a situation that unfortunately we've been familiar with from time to time.
Mhm.
So there is a contingency, I think.
Yeah, I'm not leaving the area. I'm gonna be down at Peace Island Park most of the time. If we have a big incident, obviously I'll respond, but for the medicals and the small investigations, burning complaints and stuff like that, I'll leave it to the crew to take care of for the days that I'm off.
Thank you.
Thank you. 12.2, operations departmental updates. Mr. Nelson.
Thank you. So with the streets, we're still progressing sweeping the streets when we can get out there between other projects. We completed painting, having contractors paint the long line and short lines. And we also did complete the road calcium over Cherry Avenue East, get rid of the dust. Within the water system, we did an audit on the commercial water meters and we made some adjustments with some accounts. We did testing on our cross connections with standpipe, other irrigation issues. The wastewater plant's all passed except for one failed, but it's not active right now. We're lining up to do operations or well number 3 rehab in October. And with that well rehab, it's the impellers are wearing out, so we're not keeping up with hot demand. But,
What is that just for?
sprinklers and some other use that we can't find. And when it starts raining like crazy and people turn off their taps, we catch up no problem. A lot of times I think we're finding that the sprinklers are upside down and on. So they're watering, but you can't see that they're watering.
Or just a hose with nothing on the end of it.
Yeah, we've seen that before for sure. That's a lot of water for dumping on. Landfill site, we're still working on completing that. The clay cap is completed and compaction was good. We just need to now put on the topsoil and seeding and the matting. And then we'll work on the other portion of the bulky waste in July, hopefully. We've been doing some work with golf course maintenance, with irrigation, repairing some irrigation lines and also installing the pumps at the river. We're out with the flail mowers now, the boom flail doing the shoulders, and also we're in the lagoons mowing there. And we had another operator start last week. So we're 5 of the 6 positions are filled.
Yeah, thank you. Questions, comments? So when you say that there's other sources of water, so we're not, when it rains lots, then we're not losing water? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to catch what you were meaning there. Significant loss of water.
Yeah, it's not a leak or anything like that. It's something that's controlled somewhere that we can identify.
Right, can't keep up.
Yeah, a lot of times if the loss isn't great, we'll double read some water meters of some suspect places that use water.
Yeah.
And so
Or
we've done
drive
that.
around to see if you can find that.
Yeah, green patch. Yeah, look for green patches of water.
Okay, and then having trouble keeping up with when it's hot and dry, it's because one of our wells is down? Is that what you said?
It's not down, but it's not producing as much as it should.
Because it makes me wonder, because we have no plans of doing another well before we sell 50 more lots here.
No. No, we've seen this well have issues before where it gets a lot of fines in it and the impeller gets wore out in a shorter time than the other two
Okay,
do.
so we might just leave.
It's timed out, yeah.
Okay,
Hopefully with the dam, it'll make our water cleaner and slow that process down a bit.
Well,
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what
it
it
is.
is.
One way or the other.
And we'll find out, I guess.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, that was just.
Yeah, we're not-
barely keeping up now. There's, you know, we have, the water system was supposed to be enough for those, that subdivision without increasing.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. 12.3, real ice system. Mr. Partners.
Thank you. The Real Ice Technology is one of the projects that staff was planning on, or was investigating this year to hopefully implement for 2026. But with the local government climate action program, we thought it might be able to move forward with it this year instead to help offset some of the energy use at the District Ice Center. Staff reached out to the village of Hazelton, who has been using the technology for the last 6 years or so, and they're very happy with it. After the report was written, I also was in contact with a couple of facilities in storage that are using the system as well, and they quite like it. And told me Prince Rupert has also started using it due to their hard water situation there.
And, okay, thank you. Questions? Yes.
Okay, so when we talk about, this report, it's to keep the ice at a certain temperature, right, so it stays tempered. So my question is, out of all the arenas anywhere, and I'm not complaining, I'm just saying, the heat is always quite warm in the stadium part. And I know at North Peace, when you go watch a game, like, they turn the heat off when they Zamboni to keep it consistent. Is there a way that, like, I'm fine with the system, but we can control that too, like caging off those things and having
Yeah,
it at a
they're-
consistent temperature instead of like.
We make sure all those thermostats, I know at the beginning of the year, last year, some of the thermostats on those heaters weren't functioning properly, so when the dial was turned, the heat come on regardless of what the temperature was in the arena.
Okay,
So now, hopefully we've replaced a bunch of those thermostats, so hopefully that won't happen, the dial can turn.
It's still hot in there.
Yeah.
yeah,
It
like,
is like t-shirt.
you
hot.
don't need a jacket, and when I go to any other arena, like, I would expect to wear a jacket, you know, but there, like you said, it's like a sauna. And I'm not complaining, I'm just saying, if we're trying to save
Yeah.
money and energy.
Yeah.
We should.
That
start
is
there.
one of the areas that we'll.
So if we do this and make sure we're keeping the temperature down, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I know I talked to you about it last year
Yeah.
too, because there's, like, it is so hot,
Yeah,
you
some of the bleacher
can
heaters.
barely sit there.
Yeah,
And then you see it in the, you know, the
Yeah.
corner, that's
Yeah.
is wet.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully this will help mitigate some of that, but
But then turning down but, you know, Councilor Graziano is right, I mean, you turn down the heat, we're gonna save money.
yeah, absolutely.
And I think that.
Well, not letting the people control it either, like, I don't know what the happy medium is there, but,
I think just lower set points on those thermostats
Okay.
is probably the best way to do it.
I don't know what it is either, and then they do have, like at the main, some arenas, they have like a master where they can
Yeah.
shut them off, so
Yeah.
none of them come on.
well, even last year when we would travel, like, there were certain parts of some arenas, like, they didn't turn the heat on, right? Like, you sit here,
Yeah.
and suck it up if you wanted to sit over there, too bad.
For
But I'm sure
years,
that was probably why, right?
for years at the trailing rink, we got away with the fake thermostat on the wall.
But it is sometimes, and I don't know how, because we don't have the people, either that or, you know, if we do, there must be switches for those heaters somewhere, right?
Yeah, yes, there's switches too.
Might also be, once the thermostats are correct, you know, all in good working order, then maybe shutting two off.
Yeah.
So only one has heat, because what happens is there will be two people in this one, two people at the next one, two people at the next one,
Isn't that
and they
the
got
same
all have the heat on.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, there were parts of
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
next arena where they just didn't
Be
turn them
careful,
on.
now you're gonna be on a fight in stands.
Well, But I'm talking, and I'm not talking about a hockey game.
Yeah.
But
Talking about a hockey
practices,
practice,
Yeah, for sure.
you know,
Figure
figure
skating.
skating, can skate.
There's definitely ways we can mitigate it, you know, have one section not.
I mean, I'm not complaining, I appreciate it, but in the context of
Yeah.
what we're trying to do here,
Because we're trying to save
save money and energy, right? So,
And then as for I read through the system, and other places say it works. You know, that the payoff isn't too long, apparently. I mean, time will tell, but,
Yeah, no, exactly.
you you could probably, do some things with the heaters and the ice, and then the payoff is twofold, so. Yeah, I have no problem with it if it's, the payoff's pretty quick and if it's gonna help.
Yeah.
Then you just gotta see, get feedback from the users.
Yeah, that'll be the telling point, right?
Yeah.
And if
So-
we have clear ice, or ice is pretty cloudy right now, you get, by November, you know, the lines are starting to fade a little bit, you
Yeah.
can't see, so hopefully this will clear it up and that'll be.
Something
good.
similar to our jet ice tanks or what?
No, it's not a filter. It changes the molecular structure of the water.
Okay. Does the same
Like
sort of
some
thing
glue
too,
stuff.
it makes a harder surface. Yeah.
Okay, so is everyone okay with the,
Numbers seem huge, but I guess that's, cause it's projected lifespan of 25 years, so.
yeah, but the payoff is pretty quick.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's about $3,000 a year. We get about $7,000 or $8,000 in rebates from BC Hydro and PNG if utilized correctly, if we can utilize all.
Sorry, I just have one more question.
Yeah.
I wrote it the last. Will this arrive or be installed in time for the fall operation if we were to go ahead?
Hopefully it will be before, but it can be installed mid-season. as well.
Okay, it's not a,
You don't have to shut down until it's.
We should.
okay, perfect.
But these are things, they have this stuff kind of on the shelf. right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay, thank you. 12.4, development variance permit. Mr. Nelson.
Okay, so we have a variance permit application here for reducing the setback between two accessory buildings, property on 97th Street. For council's perusal
Or not.
or not.
So, okay, so what I'm looking at through here is that basically what he wants to do is put like a lean-to at the back of his shop. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it's like a lean-to off the back of his shop for storage of things, but it's not, it's not enclosed? It's just an overhang?
No, it's
No,
an
it's
enclosed,
enclosed?
it's an accessory building, so two things, so it's not very clear. This project started already before a building permit. And that's why this DVP came to the light.
Okay,
So the building permit application, so it's not, hasn't been signed off by the building inspector yet. It's just the application that it's gonna be a lean-to the existing building that's already maxed out in square footage. He's calling it here in this DVP and second accessory building, which he already has too many of on site.
right,
But he wants to attach it to his existing accessory building, which would make it one building.
right,
But if it's two accessory buildings, the building permit doesn't fit because it needs a fire barrier. It's not designed right in the
So
building.
if he was to remove one of the current secondary buildings, like, let's say he wants to put all that
Yeah.
crap into this new thing, would the fire protection and the code match?
So the DP would still need to be there because it's too close to his other accessory building.
It's not really a fire code issue.
It is if you don't have the
Space, but really it's
Yeah.
an addition.
permit says addition, the DVP says second building.
But you've seen it.
Oh,
I have.
so in
It's an
lane,
addition.
he wants to build an addition onto an existing shop, which puts him way over his allowable foot.
Yes. Yes, right.
I see.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
so-
this didn't make any sense.
So it's not a lean-to, like it's not.
Well,
that
It's a building attached to another building sharing a common wall.
the
One
outside wall.
building, one building.
Right.
comes one building as far, it's an addition as far.
Oh,
But there's no electrical or anything.
Not that I've seen, no, it's
So
cold
he
storage.
knows, so he knows that this is on the agenda today.
yeah, I told, he did text me. He
Okay,
messaged me,
he's
he
not
asked.
coming?
I can have him here, he didn't know, I said, he knew it was coming to the hole, and if he needs to come, if it's brought forward to council.
Oh, I see, he's gonna wait till then?
Well, he was working, no, he was working. so
Okay,
Well, that's
Yeah,
it.
it was
so can
forward to
we
council.
make it a time for the applicant to come in at, I guess, the next meeting? If he can't make it today.
If you'd like to, I can message him back and say if you can be here for today's meeting at 5.
This
This
is,
isn't-
we're not making decisions
That's right,
anyways,
that's
but,
what I mean.
cause this wouldn't be forwarded This would not be forwarded tonight anyways.
Okay,
So, we can forward it to council and then he can come to the next one if he so chooses to.
yeah, he'd like to speak to council regarding it. Just,
If he's gonna show up.
yeah, he will. He would come. But I would leave it up to staff to contact him, not me.
He's very aware of it, but
Yeah.
we can reach out to him again.
Yeah, I would, and I would, you know, for myself personally, I would like to speak to him to see, because we've already done a lot of work on this property.
Before, just getting the
Yes.
secondary building. And that.
Yes. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend, allowing this. Just based upon what we know and what has happened so far.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I kind of
Okay.
wish he would have shown up before just building it when he knew.
Beforehand, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for the report. We will, no media gallery. Sorry, go ahead, yes.
Just for clarity's sake, so we are not forwarding this to, public notification at this time, we're just inviting them to come and speak to it at the future meeting.
Yeah, we can put it on the next council or committee.
Okay.
I mean, if we put it on the, because we gotta go to public anyways, even
Yeah,
if we
gotta
did
go to-
approve it.
Even if you consider approving it, you'd have to go to public engagement, so I would recommend the next committee of the whole to consider it with the applicant coming to speak to it.
I might just recommend looking at doing it at council, just to be
Just from a
respectful.
timing.
Yeah, because he's gonna he works during the day, right? So if it can be at council,
Yeah, for sure.
seems a
And we
little
can,
more.
we can make it,
Make the resolution.
vary the agenda to make it bigger. Yeah. Or two or whatever. I just wanted to have the opportunity to
To
come.
speak, yeah, and that's fair.
Because at this point, I would just say no to it myself.
Yep. So I'd say the next council meeting, just invite him as a delegate to speak to it.
And we can
Yeah, based on what I know
Yeah.
about it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And we do have,
Okay, but the address is wrong, that's why I couldn't figure it out.
Oh,
What is the address
97th
now?
Street, south, not 97th Street.
yeah, it's nice.
No, it's south. Said it
no, but on
on,
here it's
said it on
wrong.
some of the paperwork.
At the top, it's
What
wrong.
does
so
it
you
say?
couldn't figure it out?
No.
Oh,
Well, we don't actually define it. So,
No.
Just by the address.
just by the address, which is on the page.
I did see it somewhere, it said.
Oh, yeah, it's already half done. Anyway.
Oh, and now they.
Oh, so now you know.
Oh, now I know, it's watching it go up.
Now we're gonna have to go for a drive.
Okay. We do have closed committee, right? So, motion to move into a closed meeting, please. Sure. Moved by Councillor Giesbrecht, second by Councillor Gatsdale. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Sign us off.